Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another broadcast over here at the Ellis Network. Now, I'm going to try to make this a quick video. I'm just going to tell you guys what I've been reading, or not reading, but what I've been listening to on YouTube. Um, I'm going to try my best to bring out a more detailed video tonight. However, my wife, she's working till 11 o'clock. And it being a Friday here, I'm going to have all three of my kids. I don't know if I'll be able to sit down and actually put together a video. But with that being said, I've been really paying attention. I've been looking up and, learning editing tools and stuff like that because I do want to start making better videos. I'm working just with my cell phone and I'm reading off my laptop to you guys. And I said that I wanted to upgrade my laptop, and I think I'm getting ready to do just that. So I've been really heavily paying attention into how to edit videos, best way to capture audiences. I want to bring the best experience to you guys that I can possibly create myself. So anyways, really quick, what I want to talk to you guys about, and this is being discussed in mainstream and even underground news. That's what I like to call it, truth speakers, whistleblowers, the underground. There's a lot of talk with Jerusalem. We do know that President Trump come out and recognized publicly Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. And we know that has caused a lot of problems, a lot of backfire from other nations. Has been talking about it. The Pope Francis, he's been, verbally speaking out about it, against it. And also Palestinians and other surrounding nations, they've been doing protesting. Now, last night I read an article. One of my YouTube subscribers brought it out. Or one of my subscriptions, people that I follow, brought it out, and I looked it up, and sure enough, it was true. And it was talking about how the Gaza Strip fired off 2 rockets towards Israel. The rockets were shut down. And then there's also talking about all the major protesting that's going on. Israel's preparing for multiple days of rage, and what days of rage is what they call protesting. But they just take protesting to a totally different level. It does get violent. It does get riotous. I've seen a couple live feeds throughout of it. I've seen some articles. I'll have to try to pull up that article that I was reading last night. Again, I couldn't make videos with everything going on around me, but we can give you guys an insight of what's going on in the Middle East, later on tonight, as well as what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now. And this is what a lot of my channels that I watch are talking about. You guys heard me say Roy Potter. One of my subscribers, Heather, she says that Roy's another good guy to listen to. And I just recently started listening to him. And the only reason why I started really listening to him was because BP Earthwatch has been very highly recommending him. So, if you guys remember Roy Potter, he was the guy he's the retired lieutenant colonel. And he's a whistleblower right now, and he's talking about how they get really talking about here in the United States with the deep state, talking about the sealed indictments, the CIA, and all this. If you guys want to look more into that, just type in Roy Potter, subscribe to him, and he'll fill you in. I mean, he's very detailed. And if you notice, I really don't follow a whole lot of that kind of stuff on this channel. I do more worldwide. But also, I wanted to bring it out because it's very remarkable. And what we are seeing very well possibly could be that Jerusalem is just a cover. It's a cover-up to what's about to happen. Now, if you guys remember when President Trump made his speech saying that it was the quiet before the storm, that was a dinner night that he was having behind closed doors with the military leaders and their families. Now, there was no reporters allowed during that meeting. They got that report of him saying it's the calm before the storm was after they came out to the dinner from the meeting. On their way to dinner, they all sat there and took a big picture, and President Trump did come out and say it's the quiet before the storm. And at that time, with mainstream media news that was going on, everyone speculated that maybe, in fact, we was getting ready to strike North Korea. Now, nothing has happened from it. We see just recently, within, a couple days, Trump moves Jerusalem to Israel, talks about the U.S. Embassy moving. Of course, it's making a lot of people upset. They tried to pass an impeachment law on Trump, and it failed miserably. It almost looked like Antifa showing up for November 4th. I think the votes were like 350 to 40 or something like that. Those aren't the real numbers, but that's just the idea of the expand. Now, what we do know is that we have these sealed indictments. If you want to talk about, the CIA and the military MU unit, we briefly discussed about it here on this network, about how that there was theories that they moved into the CIA at Langley to arrest or for protection, because they knew that maybe these sealed indictments were going to get ready to roll out, and President Trump being on that Asian Pacific tour at that time, they were actually in place to, enforce law when all this stuff went down. And then nothing happened. Speculation that maybe even the military even went in and arrested some of these CIA members. Now, what Roy Potter says is that the military was there, but they weren't at Langley. They were at one of the Air Force bases about 100 miles north of Langley. I believe that's what he said. It was something along them lines. Now, what we do know is with these sealed indictments, and we see corruption starting to be shaken down. Democrats are starting to lose their minds. They're losing. Every venue that they turn, they are losing, and their circle's getting smaller. You have people, rats, even jumping ship and then turning their backs and talking for hopes of immunity from their own wrongdoings. Another thing that you could sit there and think about is not just here in America, but if you look at it worldwide, you're starting to see corruption being, captured at every angle of life, every walk of life in every nation. And maybe, in fact, that, the reason why we have the Palestinians mad, not only because of the Jerusalem thing, but we do know back in the past, if you guys think about the Clintons Foundation, or Bill Clinton even, Bill Clinton's the one that gave North Korea nuclear power, not in the power of nuclear bombs, but gave them nuclear power for energy, cleaner energy, and try to better their country. And then don't forget that in '95, Congress passed the bill to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. But President Clinton started signing that 6-month waiver, security waiver, and then every 6 months after, every president since then has done so. President Trump come in and said that he was going to move the embassy. Sure enough, he does it. Now, the problem with this is we see so much corruption going on in the world. All right, maybe Jerusalem could be very well, in fact, just a cover-up to keep everybody's eyes on the Middle East for what's really about to happen here in America. I do believe that those military family members were told that the storm before the calm was not North Korea or Jerusalem, but it was for what's about to happen here in America. We do know that everything's getting very chaotic, I shall say, between both parties. I'm 32 years old. I've never seen, any political parties act this immature, and it's really sickening. A lot of things has come out within the last year between both parties that's unsettling to anybody. So maybe the fact that the storm could be what's about to come across America, getting all the corruption out, CIA, the FBI, Democrats, and even some Republicans. Anyone that's involved within the government, that's corrupted, they will be taken down. And no doubt is that going to cause some kind of issues in society, whether or not, people want to go out and start protesting and rioting because, the Clintons got arrested or something like that. Which it's going to happen. I can guarantee you it's going to happen. Everyone wants it to happen now. I can understand everyone's all excited to see it happen, but this stuff takes time. Okay, so while everyone's paying attention to Jerusalem and North Korea, I just want you guys to pay attention as well as to what's going on here in America. Mainstream media is not going to cover this. They're not going to talk about it. Why? Because no mainstream media outlet was allowed into that meeting. And in fact, everything that we talk about is falling into place. If you guys think about it, there's even speculation of a government shutdown when this all goes down. Again, that's just being speculation. That's a theory. I don't know any facts or evidence. Obviously, these whistleblowers, like Roy Potter and Tracy Beans and even Alex Jones and Roger Stone, they have their ways of getting their sources, their facts. They have their own, and I basically take the information that they give me and I pass it down to you guys. And I can't show those facts, but I can show you a lot of things that we do talk about that could very well be a possibility of everything setting up. So again, guys, just keep an eye out. I'm going to get off here. I'm on father duty, but I figured I wanted to bring this out to you guys, just let you guys know what's being talked about, what the possibility could be going on in the background, and some things just to keep an eye out on. Keep an eye out on the Middle East. It's going to get way worse than what we've seen. And if you guys haven't seen anything, you really need to get online and look it up. It's mainstream, just type in Israel, Palestine, keywords of that story. It'll pop up and you'll get an idea of what's really going on over there in the Middle East. Here in America, you're going to have the double standard. You're going to have the mainstream fake news stories, and then you're going to have these people on, social media and YouTube and all this, talking about, whistleblowing and theories. And then you're also going to have, those fear mongers out there, people that saying, martial law. All the Walmarts are set up for martial law, FEMA camps, and all this. I'm not saying that's not true, but that's a little far-fetched. But it's not. I mean, it's really not. Me, I'm just going to say that because I just don't want to believe in the shit. But if it happens, it happens, right? I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But I don't want to be I don't want to be the channel that fear mongers. If there's anything that's going to happen, that we know that's going to happen, I want hard, evident facts to bring to you guys. So, again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm sorry for the length of the video. I didn't think it was going to be this long, but like I said, there's a lot that's being talked about, and I don't have time to sit here and get online and copy and paste all the articles for you guys. So again, I hope you guys just take my word for it. Come back possibly tonight, maybe not. Again, like I said, I'm in the middle of upgrading the network here. We're going to be getting better equipment. I'll be working on getting you guys better presentation video wise. And yeah, so have a good one, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.